Hi, we're here at the TDWI 2012 World Conference in San Diego. I'm here with one of our star instructors, Chris Adamson, who taught today the TDWI Dashboards and Scorecards class. And I've heard this is a wonderful class. The last person I was talking to was talking something about color schemes and their importance to dashboards and scorecards. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Well, I think it's a wonderful class, and it's a tribute to the development of TDWI materials. It's not a Chris Adamson course. But what the individual is referencing is that there are things in that course that are important to people who are producing information products for end users that go beyond what we might think about as associated with IT. And one of those is the use of colors. We tend to think about colors, the 95% of us, tend to think about colors as red, green, yellow perhaps, or stoplights, but there's a significant percentage of our population who cannot distinguish, say, red from green. So one of the things we talk about in that course is how you highlight information that's important, right? And this is not a technology, it's maybe not data warehousing, but it is essential if you're trying to produce an information product that an executive is going to consume, or a line of business manager is going to consume, or even a tactical or operations manager is going to consume. A good 5 to 10% of your population can't distinguish red from green.
It's an amazingly subtle point that many wouldn't even have considered.
Right. So how do you lay out and make information understandable and accessible, and how do you highlight information that's important? And so that's one of the things that we talk about in this really excellent class. Not only what the different ways are to present information, which is also something that people don't necessarily think about. When do I use a spark line? When do I use a bullet chart? Right? You might not think of that as a technical sort of IT-oriented or data warehousing concept, but it is essential if you want to communicate effectively the right information to the right people.
So when do you use a bullet chart?
A bullet chart is actually a very effective way to communicate in a very small amount of space a lot of information. A bullet chart will tell you a consumer of information, a lot of things in a small amount of space. What's your actual number? Where's your target? What are the ranges that suggest that you are in the good range, in a borderline range, in a poor range? And how are you doing overall with respect to that target? A bullet chart does that in a way that is consumes about the amount of space of a word in a table. So a bullet chart is a sort of very forward-thinking way to communicate information about a scorecard. How do we communicate how we're doing with respect to a target or a goal in a very small amount of space? So making a high bandwidth use of our available space.
Well, it sounds fascinating. It makes me want to take the course. Are you teaching any of the courses this week?
I actually am. So tomorrow I'm teaching some advanced material in dimensional modeling. I look forward to the days when I'm not teaching. One of the things I've learned in coming to these conferences is that we can be engaged in the industry for many years and still learn things. And so I actually really enjoy sitting through some of the courses that other instructors are teaching at these TDWI conferences. And I've been coming to them for 7 or 8 years now, and I'm still learning things from coming here.
It's amazing. We do have high quality instructors. You're absolutely one of them. And so if anybody's interested in TDWI conferences, be sure and look for Chris Adamson. Be sure and look for the Dashboards course. And we appreciate your time today.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.